Hello everybody. It's 20 years this year since Francis Bacon's studio was completely dismantled and taken from its original placing in West Kensington to the Hugh Lane Gallery in Dublin. And in the process of carrying it lock, stock and barrel, every single item within it was itemised and put on a database. So there were 570 books and catalogues, 1,500 photographs, 100 slashed canvases, 1,300 leaves torn from books, 2,000 artists' materials and 70 drawings, to say nothing of other bits of correspondence, magazines, newspapers and so on. In other words, Francis Bacon worked in a complete mess. But he said, "I cannot work in places that are too tidy. It's much easier for me to paint in a place like this, which is a mess. I don't know why, but it helps me." One of the reassuring things about this is that if our lives and the contexts in which we live are also a bit messy, a bit untidy, that's not necessarily going to hold back our creativity. For Francis Bacon, it was clearly important that he lived in a mess, and that's true of some of us and our personalities, as well as the opposite also being true. But it also made me think about the different things that I have around me, the possessions that I've accumulated over the years. Some of them have a very practical use. Some of them I keep because they're attractive, others because of the memories attached to them, and there are others, sometimes on show, or often stored away, that I just haven't thrown away, but perhaps should have done. And I'm reminded too of the story Jesus told about the farmer who found that he couldn't get all these things that he'd harvested into his barns. And so he said to himself, well, I'll pull down those barns and build new ones and fill them up, and then I can relax and eat, drink and be merry. And God says to him, "You fool, tonight your soul is required of you. And what will become then of all these things you've accumulated?" Well, there's nothing wrong with owning things, but I think the lesson of that parable is not to let them take over. What's actually important is what's going on inside us, the health of our soul, not the tidiness of our environment. It's sometimes a timely reminder to help us reset our priorities.